always be on your toes. But last year was honestly let you be pretty much on checking Twitter every minute. It felt like you were around then. What just happened, Kevin?
Did it really happen? Is it
Let's go!
Hold on.
Oh my God!
Do we have
Let's go!
So Nick Fortes going to the Tampa Bay Rays.
For who?
Wow, Ken
Oh
Rosenthal
my God.
reports. Let's get into it. Ken Rosenthal reporting that the Rays are in discussions to acquire Nick Fortes from the Miami Marlins. And we're going to do that live breakdown here.
Kevin.
Oh my God.
Just as we were talking about the
Look at
pacing
that.
of
As
this,
soon as we were talking about how boring it's been, and then Team Kevin
absolutely perfect live reaction to the Nick Fortes trade. We'll see what the return is, if there is a return. But yeah, where do we want to start with this one? Let me get one of my many Fortes gifts up here. I've enjoyed covering him through the years. And this he's been drafted, developed by the Marlins all the way back to 2018. Nick Fortes, more than 7 years later, squeezed out, understandably, of this Marlins catching depth chart. We know why. Augustine Ramirez, Liam Hicks, biggest one of all, Joe Mack, is breaking through and coming to the big leagues. Who has some thoughts on this first while I press a lot of other buttons and get my thoughts in order on this?
I should start, right?
Go, Kevin. That's only right.
I can't believe it happened. What was once a joke turned into reality. But no, seriously. I mean, Nick Fortes has been around for a very long time, like a pretty 2021. Even before that, he was in the 2018 draft, 2019 draft. He's been around for a bit. So wishing him nothing. Oh my God, wishing him nothing but the best in Tampa. Obviously, it's a guy who has worked with a lot of pitchers. So I think it's a good value defensively. The Rays have obviously struggled with their catching situation for the last couple of years. They traded away Danny Jansen, bring in Nick Fortes, guy who's experienced, veteran, more on the defensive side. I think it's a good opportunity for him. Obviously gives the chance for Liam Hicks to officially become a catcher. I did not like the first base experiment. Thought he was fine, but obviously a little undersized there. So good acquisition for the Rays. We'll see if an actual prospect comes in return. I would assume yes. Nick Fortes does have 2 years of control after this. So, and he's going to, it's a playoff push and yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, it made a whole lot of sense. We didn't think it would be the first domino to fall. I thought it would be something that
oh my God, the hashtag is blowing up.
And it just happens in almost immediately after news comes out that the Rays were trading away Danny Jansen to the Brewers. So that's kind of one of them. He's going to a team that is still kind of in it. In fact, I got to stick with Kevin on this because you just put out that article. Was that just yesterday on Yandy Diaz? Just about the idea that both of the teams are in a similar spot where they are unlikely to make the playoffs, the Rays, because they were really in a free fall before this trade, but they're not giving up yet. They just had to rearrange some pieces in there. So we're kind of, I guess we have to assume it's going to be some sort of prospect of sorts that comes back for Fortes, but it wouldn't be, we'll have to wait and see because the Rays, they do creative things. They buy and sell at the same time. They rearrange. They don't really follow that standard playbook of always just picking a lane. So we'll just have to wait in suspense on this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just Nate, if you
have the article ready, I'll work on it later.
Good. And Nate, if you could just take us through the brief history of a million different Marlins and Rays trades. Like we've seen a bunch just since Peter Bendix took over the last couple of years. This has been the most. God, what was the most recent one? The most recent one being
Eric Fauché.
I guess it was.
Was it Fauché? That's wasn't that deal, was he?
Going back, there was rumors of a trade that almost went through in the offseason with Liam Hicks being traded on Rule 5 draft day, but that didn't happen.
You got Meisner, of course.
Yeah, and acquiring Xavier Edwards in the first place right before the front office switch.
Yeah, that was around lockout too.
Do you guys think Joe Mack's coming up this series?
No, he won't be up. They're going to continue to roll out these two catchers. Got to see what you have, at least in Augustine. He's going to continue to get the majority of the reps. Next year, though, we could be talking about, Joe Mack at the major league level. But this year, I think it'll just be them two. It gives them an opportunity to call up a first baseman, actually play the position over who they currently have. So maybe we're on Davison watch. I would say Troy Johnston watch. Who knows? We'll see.
Let me just pull up this roster to get people familiar of where things currently sits and who could be most easily called up. Now, Fortes was not going to be in the starting lineup tonight, so they don't have to scramble in that regard, but they certainly – we'll see if they actually have to make a move or if things are still being finalized. Maybe they play a man short tonight. This is what the 40-man looks like entering tonight. It's been that 3-catcher combination in the big leagues for so much of the season. Ever since Fortes came back from his mini injury in early May, this has basically been half a season where they've gone with Fortes and Hicks and Augustine. We've seen Fortes' playing time. It's been slowly diminishing, but they've always gotten him at least one start each week and usually 2 behind the plate. In the short term, we expect it to be – this is kind of sink or swim mostly for Augustine as a defensive catcher. I guess I want to get your impression, Javi, of Augustine's defense. We know what he's done at the plate. He's been really impressive, the way that he's hit the ground running in a record-setting fashion. And he's been, when he plays DH, his numbers are actually significantly better than they are as a hitter when he's behind the plate and catching. Is assuming that he gets a little bit extra run here. Like, this is his chance to kind of sink or swim at that position before Joe Mack comes up behind him. Do you think he has a chance at sticking at catcher, or is he inevitably going to be moved off and we'll just have to be a bat only type of guy?
You're asking a pitcher, man. I don't know if you want my answer, but I think the runway of the ability to play here the next couple of weeks and into the end of the season will be huge for Augustine. I think it's going to be, to Kevin's point, the evaluation period that's super necessary for him, right? I think if he wants to take that next step and be the everyday catcher for the Marlins going into the future, we're going to have to see a serious increase in his defensive prowess, right? I think unfortunately right now he's kind of drinking from the fire hose, and it's not a place to be if you're a catcher at the big league level trying to, catch a pitching staff, understand all the running game. There's just so much going on for him, and I think that I hope that as I'm a huge Augustine fan, let me make that very, very clear. I hope that he has the ability to show this front office and this coaching staff that he is the catcher of the future, but Joe Mack is waiting in the wings. We know what he's capable of. So I'm excited for the next couple of weeks of Augustine Ramirez, that there's no one to look over his shoulder now. This is his job for presumably the rest of the season, and we'll see what he can do with it.
Augustine leading all big league catchers this year in pass balls, throwing out runners at a really low rate. It's we were kind of skeptical of him defensively when he got called up. We were pretty high on his bat from the beginning, and he's made us look good in that regard at fish on first. But yeah, the defense has continued to be a bit of an issue. And yes, we thank everybody for hopping in on the live viewership on this as we react to a move that came up originally on the stream. That debate happened on one of our series preview live streams 3.5 weeks ago, at the very beginning of July. And just to reset it, it was Kevin versus Isaac and Alex Carver. Both of them were pretty adamant that Nick Fortes does not have value. And they were trying to intimidate you. You stood strong by your position. We had a very organic buildup of enthusiasm from people listening and supporting you. And now it has paid off. And congratulations, Kevin, on getting.
Hey, we still have to see what the return is, guys.
Being correct. Yeah, so in the short term, what corresponding moves we might see to fill out on the position player side? Yeah, it's a few days until Derek Hill gets healthy. And I don't think Davison De Los Santos is ready yet, even though they do have now more playing time available at first base for him. Hey guys, what do we think the near-term corresponding move could be? Jeremiah advocating for Troy Johnston to finally get his shot. He's not on the 40-man yet, but this, depending on what the return is, could open up a spot.
Davidson's on the 40-man, man. It makes sense.
It's just that he's.
Well, this is my question: are they going to make a roster move today? Because now you're down a player. Do they have someone already in Cincinnati just in case this was happening? That's a real question we need to ask ourselves. Is there actually someone there? Obviously. They I don't know what they would. I guess Matt Mervis.
Mervis is
that's a possibility. He's been raking in AAA, guys. I wouldn't want it. The easiest move would be just bring up Davison, add someone else to the 40-man, and see what happens. But realistically, I'm sure they have to have someone there.
Okay. Am I saying that Matthew
Etzel?
Etzel? I'm not all that familiar with who that young man is. Matthew Etzel. Is that what somebody is reporting as?
That's
the
Craig, I
return?
think. Oh no, Craig just retweeted it.
Okay.
Well, first, where is he on the pipeline?
Yes.
He's got to be a top 100.
Outfielder Matthew Etzel. I'm seeing this from Robert Murray of Fansided. We'll get it on there. Just to show everybody. And so it's ironic because kind of the impetus for why
No, he's not. Yeah, number 28 prospect in their system. They got a top 30 prospect for him.
Yeah, this is all just very ironic because one of the reasons why we were so confident that Fortes would have value is because the Rays made a trade for a catcher to get Matt Tice back in June-ish at some point. Where's Carver? Thank you for tuning in, Arm. And I have the same question. It is very convenient. We've been talking on and off with Carver for most of the day.
Don't forget your tweet,
And
Arm.
when it's time to answer for his opinion on this, nowhere to be found. So this is a great question. I think everybody's wondering the same thing, but I'm sure he will address this as things go on. Yeah, I mean,
I need the shirts made. I need the trophy. I need all the clips of everyone ever saying I was wrong to be retweeted on the Fish on First account. Today's a big day.
So catch some of us up that weren't there when this conversation happened. Who said what?
I don't even remember. I think it said Nick Fortes has value and they could trade him for something. So that, and then I got absolutely dissed. I was told zero value at all. But hey, man, here we are.
Yeah. Well, let me try to get some useful information on this prospect coming back. As you mentioned, that's Pipeline's ranking that had him number 28.
Yes, he's a fast player. 65 grade run.
Wow.
Hitting, he's in AA, hitting 230, 360, 347 with a 707 OPS.
He's not ranked on Baseball America's top 30 for the Rays. I will say that.
Yeah,
so I do find that interesting. Just for my personal opinion is that Baseball America rankings are more reliable than Pipeline is. So I think that is worth noting that he is just outside of that list. He has not played, this seems notable, he has not played a baseball game since June 20th. He's on the injured list. So we'll see whether that is what sort of injury that would be, because he was actually red hot, it looks like, right before going on the IL, but he was playing in AA, and he spent this whole year at AA. Yeah. 23-year-old outfielder, not on the 40-man roster, still another full year away from being Rule 5 eligible. Interesting. So at least it's something. And he's primarily playing left field this year. They actually kind of have a need for that in Pensacola anyway. I mean, there's a lot of Shane Sasaki going on down there. Fenwick Tremble, who's been okay when healthy. He's on
the IL right now too. Etzel.
Yeah, that's why I said he's not played in over a month. Arm filling us in on how he gets the Rays in the first place.
We should get Arm on the stream to talk about his hashtag not Team Kevin.
Yeah, this guy does have a pretty impressive beard in the profile shot that I'm seeing of him. He does look a little bit like Sean Barry.
Yeah.
Our previous live stream. Yes, that's funny.
Apparently, he was in the Eflin deal last deadline on the 26th.
Yes.
A year ago today.
Drafted in the 10th round by the Orioles originally, then traded over in the Zach Eflin trade that was in the middle of last season. So yeah, he's been at AA.
Stolen bases last year too. That's impressive.
He spent a lot of last year at AA, and he had been at AA this season prior to going down with his injury. So we'll try getting some clarification on that injury. That could be part of the reason why he was available in the first place. But certainly, if they're making this trade, it's because they believe that he's going to be pretty healthy. Hold on. So let me just try to get people more familiar with him.
I think that was the last Marlins Rays deal, wasn't it? With Birdie and Sasaki, wasn't that?
Oh, it was that one. You're right. Yeah.
Good reminder. Yeah. That was a 3-team trade that they did with the Rays and the Yankees.
John Cruz.
Yeah. But hey, the Rays were in it.
Okay. So Arm thinks he's worth a flyer, and certainly getting anything for a guy.
Of course.
Yeah, to get somebody for Fortes that, to be clear, just did not have a space in this organization moving forward due to the influx of other catchers that they had. No complaints in terms of the career that he's had overall. This was, I think he's the best player from that draft class way back in 2018 during an era where they've been so bad at developing their own position players. Even if he didn't really reach his full potential with the bat, he's turned into an above average defender. And that's why he has value to a team like the Rays. The Rays especially are really high on catcher defense. They historically sometimes lean so far into that they don't care whatsoever what their guys do at the plate. And that shows how they value him. So this guy, where he has plus raw power, at least, even if it doesn't translate a ton to game action to this point, I'm so glad that we had something to at least talk about right here, trade-wise, to spread out the reaction a little bit.
Also a great chance for Fortes to make some new memories at George Steinbrenner Field after the last time.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right.
So this is a great opportunity for him to rewrite the script.
Yeah, didn't you talk to him right after?
Yeah, maybe we don't have to talk about that. It was all right.
It's okay.